This book is called My Cup of Arts. Do you have a favorite cup when you like so much you would like to paint it? You might think a cup is a very ordinary thing. Great artists paint ordinary things too. In this book, you'll see several cups. In each case, you will be surprised. Showing ordinary things in a new and unexpected way is one of art's main purposes. Vincent van Gogh. Although Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh had immense talent and lived to paint, he didn't sell a single picture in his life and was troubled by self-doubt and depression. He once cut off part of his ear in a fit of rage. If this cup reminds you of a vase, that's no accident. He liked to paint flowers, and he did so often. Look, it's like an ear. Egon Schiele. This Austrian painter's face, which radiates self-confidence but also fragility and vulnerability, is immortalized in his self-portrait. Everything is linked. One shoulder is slightly raised while the other is drooped. The head is turned to the side, his gaze to the other. The thin stems of the Chinese lantern plant with its shiny berries. František Kupka. This Czech artist, who lived much of his life in France, sought inspiration in other art forms like music and poetry. Can you guess what inspired this picture? It was his little daughter's bouncing ball. Kazimir Malevich. Just a black square on a white background, this Russian-Polish artist pushed the possibilities for depicting objects to the limit. He chose a square, the simplest of all shapes, in which anything can be imagined. Vasily Kandinsky. Kandinsky believed that music and painting were related. According to him, colors and shapes, like music, come from the depths of the soul and have their own rhythm and composition. Piet Mondrian. This painter respected the flatness and two-dimensionality of the canvas. He contented himself with straight lines, right angles, and blocks of color, refusing to use curves. Did you know he was inspired by a tree? Pablo Picasso. Sometimes single perspective is not enough. This Spanish artist, like other painters, painted objects as though seen through several angles at one time, in the manner of a sculptor who could turn their artwork around. These views come together to give objects and people strange, sometimes frightening, expressions. Look at the eyes, the nose. Edward Hopper. Lonely people in empty streets or cafes sitting together in silence, quietly drinking coffee. American painter, printmaker, and illustrator Edward Hopper was a keen observer of his surroundings. He liked to paint realistic, dramatic scenes inspired by the city he lived, New York City. And our last artist is Yayoi Kusama. This Japanese artist's work can be considered a form of therapy with her never-ending polka dots. That book was called My Cup of Art.